The second thing are core beliefs. Okay. Core beliefs are original beliefs that form the foundation of your bearings on the world. Okay. So remember once more. You're born, what's this thing called life? And you're going to want to quickly figure it out. This is hard, okay. Oh, this makes sound. Oh, this writes, okay, interesting. So you're going to start testing things out, and you're going to form your bearings. What's this thing called life? Okay. And there are two ways in which you're going to form these bearings. Two ways in which you're going to learn. Number one is through first-hand experience. Oh, it's hard, okay. Oh, if I do this, it makes a sound, right? First-hand experience. And the second way is through second-hand experience, where instead of, say, doing this yourself, someone else might say, hey, Julian, if you put your hands together, it's going to make a sound. Thank you. Now, in life, do we have the luxury and time to learn everything and try everything firsthand? Yes or no? No. Right? So the majority of what we're going to learn about this thing called life is going to be through second-hand experience. And this is very key. The way that we take on what we learn from others is we filter it through three things. Number one is certainty. So if, say, you were telling me, hey, Julian, if you put your hands together, it'll make a sound. So I might have never heard someone clap before. I'm like, oh, really? I'm going to filter it through, is this person certain? If they're like, hey, if you do it, it'll make a sound, versus it'll make a sound, right? So how certain is this person? How congruent is their behavior, right? When they're saying this, are their thoughts, words, and actions just very aligned? Like, hey, if you put your hands together pretty fast, it will make a sound. Versus, as we talked about before, you could be, loud and you could have the confident traits, but something might be a little bit off. People sense that, right? It's like, hey, if you put your hands together, it'll make a sound. But you're like, oh, something's a little bit off, right? So congruency. And the third one is authority. How much authority does this person have, right? And the authority one is big because this means that during your childhood, when you're forming these original bearings, these original beliefs, the main sources of information, the people who have the most authority are going to be your parents or whoever is raising you. They have a lot of authority. You're going to believe what they say over what some kid in class will say. Number two, teachers. Number three, the classroom, right? And it's not just necessarily one kid, it's the entire classroom. That's like, from your perception, the entire world, right? Instead of, say, just him saying, if you do this, it'll make a sound. Say, everyone here is saying that, yep, he's right, he's right, he's right. There's a lot more authority behind that belief. Okay? So, the classroom, children at school, and then society, mainstream media, so on and so forth. Okay? Those sources have a lot of authority, and anything that passes those three check marks, we accept them as true, even if they aren't. So, right, you might have different beliefs that hold you back when it comes to expressing yourself, where maybe as a child you were taught, hey, putting yourself out there is selfish, it's rude, be quiet and let others speak. Don't make yourself the center of attention. Or being the center of attention is very dangerous. Just blend in. Say you heard that, a lot of certainty, a lot of congruency, say it was both your parents, a lot of authority. You're like, okay. And you say, you form the belief, putting myself out there, bad. That's a core belief. And a core belief, once more, is at the foundation, meaning that once you form one, you then build new beliefs on top of that. Okay, putting myself out there is bad. If that's true, that's going to then filter the future bearings, right? It's like putting on a pair of sunglasses. Then you see the world through that. Well, if that's bad, then this is bad, and this means this because I'm this person, and that applies. And there's all these beliefs that then branch off of this original core belief, right? You could also have the core belief through first-hand experience, right? It doesn't just come from second-hand. It could be first-hand where, say, as we talked about, there's a rumor that you like someone in the classroom. You're like, wow, that's terrible. I'm going to never do that. And you will not only suppress the aspect of you that shows interest in someone, but you also have that core belief that showing interest in someone is bad. And then you build new beliefs and new beliefs on that, and you live your life this way. Okay? We all have these. We have core beliefs when it comes to everything and anything. And we will always try, this happens unconsciously, to stay congruent to these core beliefs. This also explains a lot of self-sabotage. We think self-sabotage is us screwing ourselves over. That's not necessarily true. A lot of self-sabotage is we're trying to stay aligned with these beliefs, but we're not always aware of these beliefs. And in reality, you always do and get what you want. You're just not aware of the part of you that wanted it. Right? So if you believe putting yourself out there is bad, you can try with as much effort, like, let's do it. But you're always going to feel that pull that's pulling you back to not doing it, to stay aligned with that core belief. Because here's the other big fear. Okay? We have massive resistance to becoming aware of these, by the way, and even more to letting them go. Because, hey, what if this is perhaps wrong? The whole belief tree crumbles. So we'd rather double down on that, on what we know. Okay, if you've read the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey, amazing, amazing book, highly recommend it. He talks about this with the idea of paradigms. Okay, and I've quoted this many a times, I love it. And I'm paraphrasing here, but what he says is, imagine right now, we're in Los Angeles, and I were to give you a map of New York. I'm like, here's a map of New York, go find your way around LA. Is it going to work? Yes or no? No. What if he applies a lot of willpower, a lot of hustle? What if he has a really good attitude and positive mindset? Is he going to find his way around? No. Right? What if he gets accountability partners? Nothing's going to work, right? It's the wrong map. Now, imagine, and this is what we do, by the way. Everyone here, this is what's crazy, we have a map like this. We have a map that isn't entirely accurate. So step 1 is realizing that we have a map. Step 2 is, what if it's not entirely accurate? Now imagine I were to give you this map of New York from the moment you were born, and no one told you it's the wrong map. And you're looking around, and everyone else also has a map of New York, and you've been trying to make this map work your entire life. What if now I just appear, I'm like, by the way, that's the wrong map. Here's the LA map. Are you going to experience resistance to accepting that? Because that means everything you've been doing is wrong. It's such a hit to the ego that people would rather double down. And what happens is they convince themselves that the answer of making that map work is just always outside of reach. That's a lot of people too, right? Social scammer, it's like, I don't want to assume that the map is wrong. It's just this next little tip and trick. No. It's the map. Okay? So core beliefs is the second big thing that keeps us down there, that affects our being.